We've heard a lot from this table. We're actually going to hear a little bit more from our friends at Common Ground and some of the work they're doing. Do you guys want podium or Rome?
I'm good.
Okay, so you may sit or stand. We're gonna hear a little bit about the Food is Medicine work and other work at Common Ground. Hey, you know.
Thank you.
Can we get another mic, please?
You bet.
Handheld.
Or look at how batteries running low. So if it starts to, here we go.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Randy Couts, and I am the program advisor for Common Ground. I tell people all the time that program advisor is just a fancy word for servant, because that's all we do is literally we go and serve and we serve and we serve. But initially, like I said, the title is program advisor for Common Ground Producers and Growers Mobile Market.
And I would have to disagree with what he just said because you see who went first. I am Keisha Couts. I am Randy's wife. I am the daughter to CEO of Common Ground Producers and Growers. I am the 5th generational farmer to Pearson's Farm in Wichita, Kansas, and I am also the mental health specialist for Common Ground Producers and Growers.
All right. Presentation is going to be a little bit different because obviously everybody else had jam-packed slides with a lot of information on them. But today I'm going to present to you a picture is worth 1,000 words. In this photo, you see my CEO, Ms. Donna Pearson McClish, and our farm manager, David Pearson. Pearson's Family Farm is literally a farm in the city of Wichita that has committed itself to the service of providing food for its community. Their father of the Pearsons used to say, basically, you're walking on a gold mine and you don't even realize it. Little did we know that in 2024, we would see how important land access is to being able to grow fresh fruit, fresh produce, to be able to feed communities. The Pearson family has taken it to heart, and it has allowed them to evolve and to grow the farm, but also to transition the farm where Ms. Donna transitioned into a mobile market, literally taking fresh produce to areas and communities that did not have access. So you see the ground, you see that it's torn up, you see that it just looks like a field. What you don't realize is that there's seed in the ground. That seed is what is needed to go produce our harvest. In this, we partner not only with Pearson's Family Farm, but we also buy produce and vegetables from other farmers who have the same mindset. Let's go feed people. No herbicides, no pesticides. Let's come together. I'll pay you a fair wage. You give me your produce. I'm going to take it into areas where people need it the most. Ms. Donna has been doing this since 2014. Before there was grant money, before there was the cool buzzwords of all these things attached to let's go feed people. She started out with the mission on there are people that need to be fed. There are people who have vouchers that can't get to the mobile market. Let me take my produce and go feed them.
So then it began in a 2-door Grand Am. And I think that was my car that I donated to Common Ground. So it was a 2-door Grand Am that my mother and my nephew jumped in, and they took the produce and they took it to the senior sites. And it looked like this. We had the scale, we had her purse. I mean, it was just very unorthodox. It was very just, we here to feed you. What do you want? That was one of her I guess her work attire is what you would call it. It was just an apron that our nephew had put on, and we just picked up the produce from our network of growers and we took it to our senior sites. And that's where it began from there.
And the produce that we take, basically, it is staples. And when we arrive at our senior sites, because we serve approximately 38 senior sites, we now work on an I-35 corridor. We're in 12 counties, And it all started because one senior site had farmers market vouchers that the seniors couldn't get to the market on. And they contacted Miss Donna because they knew that her family had a farm, said, would you, could you? Her answer was yes. And she never stopped saying yes, because now we find ourselves in 2024. We serve, we're in partnership with Goddard. We're in partnership with towns like Heston and Burton that don't have supermarkets, but they're rural communities that at one point had supermarkets, but they closed for whatever reasons. And then they reach out and say, can you bring produce to us? So the answer becomes yes. So we travel, we take the produce, and then we discovered in partnership and relationships that obviously you can't do it by yourself. So we talk about food as medicine. Food is also intergenerational. So then you discover there's a whole nother generation, as the chef pointed out, that don't know how to use a knife. They don't know what a carrot looks like when it first comes out of the ground. They've never seen where potatoes actually come from. So now we had an opportunity to partner with the Way to Work program in the city of Wichita. We were given youth, and Mrs. Donna took them under her wing and exposed them to urban agriculture, how to grow produce, where it comes from, entrepreneurship. And in a generation of people who are all about their cell phones, PlayStations, and iPads, now they've got to learn how to communicate and talk to people. They got to have their eyes up, and when people are coming towards the table, say, hello, hi, how are you? And now they have to identify, I don't remember if this is a collard green or a mustard green, but I'm just gonna roll the dice and say it's a collard green. No, I need you to know what that is. So then it becomes let's teach you how to better understand how to truly serve your community.
And then we also incorporate, like you said, worth ethics, how to communicate, how to have eye-to-eye contact, how to speak to people. It's just not, you can't abbreviate everything and show them your cell phone, what you've typed. So you have to know how to communicate one-to-one, in-person things. And it's just been really enjoyable to see how they've developed. I'm going to tell a quick story. Mm-hmm. The gentleman with the notepad in the middle, he has like the cowboy hat around his neck. His name is Kamani. Kamani is a rancher. He loves horses. So Kamani just showed up one day and he was like, I'm here to work, Miss Donna. And Miss Donna was like, well, you're not on our when to work list, so I don't know. And he was like, nope, I'm here to work and I'm not leaving. So Kamani just kind of stayed around. Kamani is still with us 3 years later. And he has not left. Kamani and CEO and program advisor ended up going to, was it Cowtown? Mm-hmm. The state fair. And so they came home with a duck. And we don't know. His mom was like, why did you all allow him to bring a duck home with him? Grew the duck up, but the duck could not stay at the house. So he ended up bringing the duck to the farm.
Yeah. Again, we are all encompassing when it comes to common ground. And one other addition, the gentleman on the far left with the hat halfway on his head is Jamel. Jamel came to us as a football player, not really sure of anything about agriculture. He is also still with us, but he has shifted his mind thinking to now he thinks he wants to be a chef. And he still takes fresh produce from us. He worked with us this summer. So he was taking cantaloupe and collard greens and all these things, going home and then cooking them. And then he had a partnership with his local church where he wanted to provide dinners with some of the produce that he was getting from Common Ground. So again, it's intergenerational. You've got to take that next generation along with you so that they can understand where agriculture comes from.
So someone has said earlier, like, how are you incorporating families and things like that in what you're doing? We're incorporating families because we allow families to experience the produce. So if the when to work kids want to take produce home and play with it and fix it and do, please take it home. Here's enough for you and your family. So we're incorporating those family values with that also. So this is one of our senior sites that we regularly visit. Hit it.
This is an example of how we basically serve our community. So the senior site is these individuals have received their farmers market vouchers. So we come in, we set up our tables, we set out our produce. They work their way through the line, touching and feeling every piece of produce that I have on my table because they want to make sure it's the ripest, they want to make sure it's the freshest. And I assure them it was either picked either the day before or early this morning. It's not going to get any riper than what it already is. But to be honest, with the way that we serve, they aren't customers, they're extended family. So this is the power of food. It draws us all closer together. I'm not bantering with them whether they're a Democrat or Republican or what side of the tax bracket they're on. They just need access to fresh food. And so we show up and we provide that. And again, we have our way to work kids with us. This is a different set of kids, and they're, again, learning how to serve in the community, what it looks like to serve people, as well as being able to understand that what we do and how we grow food is important, because if the Dillons, if the Walmart didn't have it, where are you going to get it from? So when I get the kids, I often on the first couple of days, I ask them to go research from seed to harvest, how long does it take for something to be produced out of the ground? So then when they come back and say, oh my God, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days, could you go that long without eating? And immediately the answer is no. So then it sparks within them the idea of how important the food system is and their role within it. This is another one of our senior sites. So as you can see in the picture, we have a gentleman that has his farmers market vouchers. We have individuals who are picking up their fresh produce, watermelons, collard greens, spinach, and we go from here to this, the one that I was looking for. We also had an opportunity to partner with individuals who were at the university level. So we were able to receive interns who had a desire to work in agriculture. The beautiful part about Kansas Wesleyan interns was that the university, their motto or their mission for why they wanted to have interns go into agriculture was they wanted them to graduate, not necessarily thinking that they would become a farmer or a rancher, but in any environment that they landed in, if they saw that there was food insecurity, food injustice, that they would have such a hands-on experience and working knowledge that they would immediately identify there's a problem here. I may not have all the tools and resources to fix it, but let's come to the table so that we can discuss it and figure out how can we fix it together. I can't do it by myself, but I've been exposed to agriculture, I've been exposed to community, and I understand that if we work together, we can figure out a solution for why these people in this community is lacking in food. There's a resource available, we just need to find it.
So then, in addition to our When to Work program that we have, we began a Healthy Brew project where Athena and Sharmika Martin launched us into our senior sites in order to teach our seniors how to utilize their commodity boxes. So what we did from January to June, middle of May, end of May, beginning of June, we went in and we took the commodity boxes that were provided to the seniors and we created meals with those seniors. So here are a couple of recipes that we would take on site. We would have a culinary coordinator go with me, and we would do mental health and also food. So we would have at least 20 participants at every event that we had, and we were doing 4 senior sites a month. So this is one of our culinary coordinators. This is Mika, and I'm in the back. She always called me her sous chef. And I just kind of, however she needed me to assist her, I would. But it was very enjoyable to teach the seniors how to not only get their produce, and then the following week we would cook their produce and show them how to make asparagus. And we have a dairy farmer that we partner with. So we would bring cheese in and we sprinkle healthy cheese on it and the asparagus. And then we would make salads. And I told him, I said, I don't like this picture. That picture doesn't look like I'm happy.
Yeah,
I love what I do.
I said, you're serving, honey, you're serving. That's your serving face.
Service should not look like that. But we enjoyed what we were doing and feeding and serving the people. We also partnered with K-State, their dietitian, to bring in recipes and ingredients and things on how they can make, the chef talked about taco seasoning, how you can make a low sodium taco season with just what you have. And also in addition to the Healthy Blue project, we would do bingo. So during the bingo, we would have a plethora of residents that would come in, and we would ask them, what do you need? What do you need in your kitchen? I need knives. I need cutting boards. And if you all have not visited Ollie's, please go to Ollie's. I will put a plug in for Ollie's. They have the greatest, like, little individual items you can purchase just for seniors. They had like the little chopping things just for them to be able to use, because sometimes the dexterity in their hands is not what it used to be. So when I was out shopping for them, I had to keep that in mind. I mean, like, okay, I'm just going to go and pick this up because I think they can cut and utilize the knives and utensils like I can, and I found out that they cannot. So just low sodium, using utensils, buying pots and pans, oven mitts. You have to be careful. You find things that, are not too big or not too heavy for them to use. The allergies that they have. Just those small things that I was educated on by just simply asking them, what do you need? What can you use? What can you not use? So yeah, we're feeding people. And we would do painting as some of the mental health and the mindfulness things. We made flower pots. We did like seeding pots, and they got to paint the pots. And I wrote her name down. Maggie, I think she was talking about groups. And that's just basically what we did. We went in and we had group. So it decreased anxiety, isolation, it increased mood, it increased socialization, all of these positive things by just going in and sitting down at a table, having an activity, and sharing food. In the Bible, we see all the time that food was always there. He turned water into wine, the 5 fishes and the bread. So just how food can bring community together.
And if I could encourage you to do anything after you leave, is find you a partnership. This is not meant for you to do it by yourself. You have to find other people who see the vision, who have a desire to go and to overcome the no's, because there's going to be a lot of them, overcome the barriers, because everybody's going to say, is it really worth it? Is it really profitable? Is it really... is this something that you can sustain? Is it sustainable? Well, anytime you have a heart to serve people, it's worth it. But you got to make up in your mind that I'm going to do this for all the right reasons. And when you start to do it for those reasons, you can change your city, you can change your community, you can change your family. But you got to be willing to make the commitment. And we recently had an opportunity to go to Atlanta, and we had an opportunity to go to the Martin Luther King, one of his venues that they had turned into informational plaza. And I did not realize that in his effort, in his work to change society, for 10 years, he labored at it, died before he saw it completed. That becomes the true part where it becomes a legacy. What if what you carry today, what if what you want to do today can be turned into legacy based off of your commitment to just go serve people and look beyond a lot of the stuff that hinders people from saying, I'm going to go forward with it. Because in 2014, there was not a lot of reasons for Ms. Donna to go forward with it other than the community had people who needed to be fed. And she said, I'll champion that cause and I'll go forward. And then people came behind her, and more people got on board, and more people kept pushing her forward. And we served our way to food as medicine. So that's why we're here today. We have a servant's heart. So if you need us, you have Ms. Donna's information.
Our answer is yes.